think we're going to begin now. Thank you for joining us this afternoon for what we think is going to be a very exciting announcement that has tremendous potential to change the life of adult Hoosiers, to change the life of their families, and to improve the workforce and the economic status of the state of Indiana. Seeing all the partners in the room here today really underscores the significance of today's announcement, so thank you for being with us. I especially want to thank Governor Mike Pence and the General Assembly for their support of making adults who return to school a priority. The legislature, represented by 4 on my left here, actually passed legislation to say that all of our colleges and universities needed to reach out to these students and make sure that they could have incentives to come back to college. And of course, Governor Pence has been very engaged with this work, everything that has to do with education, workforce, and training since he was elected to be governor. In 2010, we set a big goal in Indiana, and that goal was to have 60% of Hoosiers to have a quality degree or credential beyond high school. I'm always quick to add that because it's the Commission for Higher Education, many people think that we're advocating for 4-year degrees alone. And trust me, we need more people with bachelor's degrees. But that is not the song that we're singing. We're actually talking about quality degrees and credentials beyond high school. So something that gives an individual currency in the market when they gain that credential, certificate, or degree. We know that we can't fill that 60% goal with just the pipeline coming out of high school, although we're doing hard work with our K-12 partners to make sure that more students are college and career ready. But there are many, many adults in Indiana who at some point in their life had the aspiration to go to college. They actually enrolled, and for a multitude of reasons, life got in the way, and they did not conclude their college degree. It's been something that's been bothering them for a long time. We held focus groups to actually talk to these adults to find out why it was they left, what would make it easier for them to come back, and what we could do to help. And that's what we're here to talk about today. Today we are officially launching the You Can Go Back campaign. You'll see evidence of the campaign behind me. The brand is really to tell these adult Hoosier students, that a lot has changed since they left college. Like you, for instance, like college, for instance, like your reasons to go back to college. And we're in a very targeted way reaching out to these students. This week, they started receiving direct mail that we put together with these themes of the campaign. So we've been able to identify a portion of the 750,000 Hoosiers who have some college but no degree, to actually align with our goal, which is to encourage 200,000 of them to come back and work to complete their studies by 2020. So they're going to receive that first direct mail piece, and then it'll be follow-up with emails. There are telephone calls going on. We're bringing all kinds of actions around them so that we're layering the message in a multitude of ways. And the good news is that once they receive that, they simply have to push a button, and we'll be able to actually provide information to them about the incentives. We have a college match. We're not telling students where they should go to college, but we have a match that after they answer a series of very simple questions will align what they want, the kind of degree they want, what they want to study, how they like to study online or in class. And when they answer these questions, immediately all the colleges and universities, and we have participating all of our 7 public and most of our private colleges in Indiana, it will match with them, and all of those schools will come up and they will see a range of options for them. And then our partners, obviously the colleges and universities, will within hours be reaching out to them to encourage them by telling them the incentives that we have. One of those incentives is that we will be providing $1,000 to those students who come back if they qualify. And this is by filling out their FAFSA and having met qualifying criteria. And so if they've done that, we're taking our part-time grant from financial aid and we're converting it to an adult grant to provide another incentive for them to come back. So we really think this multifaceted campaign has great promise to encourage people. We've tried with this group before, and we've never been as successful as we need to be now. But the reasons for them to come back are so much more compelling. When we talked about that 60% goal, it is aligned to what the workforce needs will be by 2025. that you will need to have degrees or credentials beyond high school. So in addition to having focus groups with the students or the adults, so we could find out what they need, we actually said this campaign really is going to hinge also on the involvement of employers. Employers who will actually tell their employees, this is a good time for you to go back, and we're encouraging you to do that. So really, this is really a very important part of the equation. How can we reach out to the employer community? So we met with them as well, and we said, what kinds of incentives do you currently provide? What would you be interested in doing? We know this is difficult, especially for small and mid-sized firms, but you could certainly encourage your employees to take advantage of this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to come back and receive these incentives. So the You Can Go Back campaign is really focused on working with the employers, partnering with communities, layering all these messages together to send a very clear message to Hoosiers why it's important to go back now. To talk a little more today about the employer involvement with this, I'd like to welcome Mike Wilson, who is Comcast Indiana Director of Public Relations, to talk a bit about Comcast's commitment and then to think widely about what employers could do to encourage students. Mike?
And thank you, Commissioner Lubbers, and thank you, everybody, for your attendance today, too. It's good to see so much passion about higher education. I am Mike Wilson. I'm the Public Relations Director for Comcast in Indiana. We do have a strong employee commitment to higher education. I want to get into that in a second. I'll tell you a little bit about Comcast as well in the process. We've got two very large facilities in central Indiana. One is a call center located in Fishers with hundreds of employees. They do mostly phone operations, customer service. That's part of our customer service commitment. Also, we have a large facility in Indianapolis proper. That's where a lot of our technical operators are located. So we've got a lot of employees, and to me that represents a lot of opportunity, because one of the things that we do at Comcast is we like to make sure that people have the opportunity, the path to the opportunity that they want, and to move people up the ranks. So what gets in the way of somebody who wishes to get that certificate or degree? Oftentimes it can be money. At Comcast, we offer up our employees, if they maintain a C average or better and have been with the company for 6 months, we will offer up $5,750 reimbursed every year that they attend school so they can get their higher education. We also, by keeping money out of the equation, or at least helping out with that, the other thing that we do is try to address the issue of red tape. And I think that's one of the things that this program is so good at. We try to make sure that our employees know the avenues that they can take so they can get that higher education. But I think the state is doing a wonderful job with this program. The commitment from Madam Commissioner Lubbers, from Governor Mike Pence, from the other state officials who are here with us today is a great commitment indeed that only helps us and helps get the word out. So those are two things that we can do: get awareness, raise awareness. That this program can do. Also helps us out. We help with money. There's $1,000 available, as the commissioner just talked about. But there's a third thing that may be a little bit more abstract that this has sort of inspired us at Comcast to really take a serious look at. And that's the abstract issue of time. If you have children, going back to school can be very challenging, even if it is for a certificate, even if you have a lot of credit already. So addressing time as a factor. Now at Comcast, I want to tell you a little bit about Comcast University. That's a program that we've had for some time. It helps train our employees, whether they're administrative employees, whether they are technical operators. It's a training program. I've even been through some Comcast University courses that helps people all the way around the umbrella that is Comcast. So lots of employees can take advantage of that program. But what it doesn't do is currently offer any college credit for anything that you've learned as a technical operator. And for an example, I was down in Nashville, Indiana, not too long ago, speaking to a large room, a big gathering of our technical operators, and I was telling them about You Can Go Back. They were pretty interested in this. In fact, I talked to quite a few people afterwards. And one person in particular told me, said, you know what, I'm going back to school right now, but a lot of the stuff that I'm learning right now, I don't get any college credit for, but I already learned it at Comcast University. And so how do we make that translate? So what I'm proud to tell you about right now is our interest in pursuing some opportunities with our institutions of higher education, colleges and universities across the state. Because what we have right now is a great commitment from our leaders in higher education, our state leaders, to say higher education is important. So what they've done is provided us with opportunity. They've provided our employees with opportunity. But I think it is incumbent upon every business in Indiana to step up to the plate and say, we want to help you find a pathway to that opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. You certainly explained clearly Comcast's commitment and I think issued a challenge to other employers. We have found out that the employer community is very interested in this program because they know they need a more highly skilled, educated, and trained workforce. And so they're looking for a multitude of ways to do that. And this was really a great snapshot of what Comcast is committed to doing. Another important partner in the You Can Go Back campaign really would be our Indiana cities and towns and regional groups and community leaders. They are well positioned to encourage people in their areas to take advantage of this opportunity to come back. Our next speaker is Columbus Mayor Jim Linnep. I know I got it right. And he's been mayor since last November. We had a chance to chat a little bit before we came over today. And we'd actually exchanged an email before talking about his interest in being engaged in issues related to education, workforce training, as it applies to the state and then specifically to his part of the state as well. Columbus, in many ways, exemplifies an extraordinary commitment to bringing people together. They've shown a long commitment to education, and the employer community is very engaged as well. I'd like to welcome Jim to the podium to talk a little bit about how local government can support these efforts.
Can everybody hear me okay? Is that a little better? Not better yet, huh? How about that? Okay, we'll make that work. Thank you, Governor Pence and Commissioner Lubbers, for inviting Columbus to participate in this exciting and important announcement regarding the You Can Go Back campaign. Thanks, too, to Comcast for helping sponsor this program. There are many initiatives that a government can pursue to improve the lives of its citizens. I think the most important of these is education. The value of education is writ large and small. It has been said that an educated people are the backbone of our republic. It is easy for us to look around and identify those places in the world where there is significant social unrest and correlate that to a low educational attainment. Closer to home, we see the value of an education more often expressed in terms of economic success, a good job, a satisfying career, what some might call economic freedom. I'd like to spend the next few minutes sharing with you the response that Columbus and Indiana's southeastern region have adopted to address the educational challenges we face. Now, when we refer to southeastern Indiana, we're generally looking at communities that are east of I-65, south of I-74, excepting the southernmost counties. Altogether, we're home for about 350,000 Hoosiers. Columbus serves as the convener of this area for two reasons. One, we're the largest city in the region, and the other is that we have a view that extends beyond narrow political boundaries. Every day, 15,000 people, 15,000 Hoosiers, travel to Columbus, mostly for work from this broader area. Our community's employers and our community's leaders understand that our future and our prosperity is directly linked to that of our neighbors. The same is true and the same observation holds for the other communities in the region. Therefore, about 10 years ago, we formed the ECHO Network, a collaborative group of leaders from business, education, the workforce, government, and our community's social agencies. ECHO was the acronym. It stood for Economic Opportunities Through Education. Our goals were information and action. We listened to the needs of employers, gained an understanding of the challenges faced by educators, and identified opportunities for those who wish to assist. Along the way, our plan would tailor educational offerings to employers' needs. The list of those who actively, and I mean actively, participate in the ECHO network is impressive. Cummins, Honda, Hillenbrand, NTN, Caltherm, Eisen, and 7 of the area's hospitals are just a few of the more than 100 employers who participate in this activity. Our education partners include the region's high schools, Ivy Tech, Indiana University, Purdue University, Columbus, Purdue Polytechnic, and Work One. It was also important for the ECHO network to attract funding and a staffing backbone. Lilly Endowment, Lumina Foundation, the Heritage Fund, the Community Foundation of Bartholomew County, have all provided substantial resources for our efforts. We have also received significant investment from the state of Indiana through Region 9, the Region 9 Workforce Board, and the Region 9 Works Council. The staffing backbone has come from another acronym, the CEC, formerly known as the Community Education Coalition, or as we often informally call it, John and Jack. John Burnett, seated right here in front of me, and Jack Hess, standing back there by the pylon, lead this work, and they have demonstrated an unmatched talent and dedication for developing this type of collaborative effort. In fact, Governor, we need to ensure that we need to ensure that we complete our remarks on time today because they're headed to North Carolina. They're leaving on a plane a little bit this afternoon, and they're going to school some Tar Heels on how we collaborate in Hoosier land for education. Recently, Lumina Foundation paid our activity quite a compliment. Lumina is focused on one goal, ensuring that 60% of adults nationwide possess a post-secondary credential by 2025. Lumina Foundation has invited our Community Education Coalition and our region to participate in their community attainment strategy. We are one of 75 metro sites from across the nation, and the smallest by far, who were invited to participate. While the ECHO Network partnership has made great strides in increasing secondary enrollments in science, technology, engineering, and math, up by nearly 30% since 2008, and while we have an amazing partnership of education, business, workforce, elected officials, community leaders, community foundations, and other community organizations, all working together to increase educational attainment in our region, we still have work ahead of us. Current attainment rates are entirely too low to ensure that our region's citizens have the requisite knowledge, skills, and abilities for our employers to fill their needs. At present, only 28% of our adults have a 2-year degree or higher. And while high school graduation rates have improved by 12 percentage points over the last 7 years, up to 92%, our region must continue to focus on improving the high school graduation and post-secondary education attainment rates. Additionally, as a region, we must continue to ensure adult education is a focus of our efforts. Nearly 11% of our adults do not have a high school diploma, and another 40% of those adults possess only a high school diploma, with no additional high-demand certifications or post-secondary credentials. While I am mayor of the largest city in our region, I recognize Columbus is not an island. As I alluded to earlier, more than 20% of the people who work in our community come from another county in the area. Educational attainment is central to our economic success today and will be increasingly so in the future. The You Can Go Back campaign will help accelerate the ECHO Network's focus on post-secondary attainment. To put You Can Go Back into context, we have about 35,000 people ages 25 to 64 in our southeastern Indiana workforce who have some college but no degree. This campaign, aimed at those adults, offers the opportunity for improved lives and improved communities. The You Can Go Back campaign provides our region with a vital new tool that has been missing until now, a better way to identify, recruit, and support those adults who wish to complete a post-secondary credential leading to a well-paying job. In fact, last fall, our region formed the Attainment Network as the newest component of ECHO. Kathy Huffman, who's also with us today, is guiding those efforts, and I'm happy for her to be here to see this. The goal of the Attainment Network is to dramatically increase secondary and post-secondary education attainment rates. We look forward to gearing up this portion of our ECHO network to include the You Can Go Back campaign. We are very proud of our educational accomplishments in Columbus and southeastern Indiana. Although the recipe is simply conceived, implementation can take some work. Nonetheless, put employers and educators in the same room, find funding, and hire champions. Governor Pence, Commissioner Lubbers, thank you once again for inviting us here today. Columbus is a great story, and we never tire of telling it. Our ECHO network stands ready to launch the You Can Go Back campaign. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Before I introduce our governor, I want to make another special mention of the legislators who are here with us today. Not only did they support us when we brought this idea to them in terms of putting some language in legislation, but represented in the room, and I'm sorry, Representative Smith is in the audience, and we have Senator Kenley, Representative Brown, Representative Baining, and Senator Cruz here with us, education and finance leaders of the state. And I know there's another way that you can help us, because I'm a little familiar with those flyers that you send to constituents in your district, highlighting important efforts that are underway. So could I put in a plug for encouraging You Can Go Back in one of your flyers coming up? I think that would be great. I'd be happy to hear from someone, but I really feel like I have to hear from all five, and I think that might be a little dangerous today. So they're shaking their heads, so I don't think they feel left out. So our last speaker is Governor Mike Pence. Governor Pence has really shepherded the state of Indiana through a prosperous economic period. We know that unemployment rates are lower now than they've been forever, at an all-time low. But he also knows that we have to be focused not just on where we are now, but where we need to be in the future. And he has been critically important in really carrying the song about the importance of making sure that people understand the value of education and training beyond high school. To talk more about his commitment to this campaign and to talk about a special challenge, I think, as well, please join me in welcoming Governor Mike Pence.
Great. Thank you, Teresa.
You'll shake my hand even though I'm sick, huh?
Awesome. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you very much. How about a rousing round of applause for Teresa Lubbers, the Commissioner of the Indiana Commission on Higher Education. Teresa, we appreciate you very much. You couldn't tell, but she's a little bit under the weather. But it didn't diminish any of her passion for the people of Indiana and for expanding educational opportunities, and that's what brings us here today. I want to thank Mike Wilson for his eloquent comments and the leadership that Comcast has shown, along with so many other employers we've heard about today. And Mayor Lenup from the great city of Columbus, Indiana. I'm admittedly biased since I was born and raised there. Mayor, I think you have been in office for about a month and a half. I would just say to you, good start for the people of Columbus, Indiana. Give these both a round of applause, will you? Thanks, Jim. Thanks for your leadership on this. And I want to say, since day one of our administration, we've emphasized the need. Working with the commission, working with members of the General Assembly, working with businesses large and small across the state of Indiana to make sure that as we have a growing Indiana economy, as we have record employment, as we have more Hoosiers going to work than ever before in the history of this state, that we do everything we need to do to make sure that we have the best educated and the best skilled workforce in America to meet all those opportunities. And the blessing that we have is that we have tremendous support in the Indiana General Assembly. These all were introduced before, but let me emphasize that the chairman of the Ways and Means and Appropriations Committee, Senator Luke Kenley, Representative Tim Brown, are with us today. These are two leaders that put the resources of the people of Indiana behind educating the people of Indiana, and we thank you for that, man. And the education chairman of the House of Representatives, Representative Bob Beening, and Senator Dennis Cruz, again, putting education, innovation, opportunities, and choices from pre-K to adult education. These are two great education leaders, and I appreciate them being here today with us to celebrate this moment. Well, my message today is really to be simple and to close with a challenge. And that is that the Commission on Higher Education and the Indiana Career Council not long ago, set a very ambitious goal for our state. That by the year 2025, 60% of Hoosiers will have some sort of degree beyond high school or a credential. Post-secondary education is absolutely imperative in the modern era to improve the quality of our workforce, more importantly, to expand opportunities for Hoosiers to reach their full potential. It's imperative that we look beyond the K-12 pipeline as it's known, and that we expand educational opportunities. Even for Hoosiers like my mom, who years ago returned to college to go to St. Mary's. And we've got a great group from St. Mary of the Woods who are here. You could give these young people a round of applause. They deserve it. But it might actually be providential, Teresa, that St. Mary of the Woods is on the front row because my mom realized that she could go back, and she got her college degree in her 60s. And we're today thank you for that applause for my mom. She'll be impossible to live with now. The truth of the matter is there's about 750,000 Hoosier adults who actually started working on a degree or a credential, but for one reason or another had to put it on hold, just like my mom did. And what we're doing here today is saying, in partnership with the state of Indiana, in partnership with businesses and communities all across the state of Indiana, we're here to help, and we're here to say, yes, you can go back. That's our very simple message. You know, all the jobs in the Hoosier Hot 50, which is the fastest growing high-wage jobs in the state, require a minimum of a high school degree and some sort of post-secondary credential. According to the Georgetown Center for Education and Workforce, by 2025, get this, 2/3 of all jobs will require a credential beyond high school. So today we're telling Hoosiers you can go back. But I'm calling on each and every one of you here today, representing businesses and enterprises and the state of Indiana. I'm calling on all of us to come together because it's going to take all of us to unpack this opportunity for the people of Indiana who can benefit from it. To Hoosier employers, our challenge is very simple. I challenge you to find at least one way you can help your employees further their education, and tell your employees you can go back and find a way to help them the way Hoosier employers do every day. You can sign up as a partner to the You Can Go Back campaign as well. You should also know that I'm not asking Hoosier employers to do anything that the state of Indiana isn't already planning to do. I'm very pleased today to be joined by a couple of members of my cabinet. Dr. John Werner, who's the Secretary of Family and Social Services Administration, is in the house. Doc, good to have you here. You could give him a round of applause. He makes a difference for Hoosier family. And also, the Director of the State Personnel Department, Denny Darrow, is with us. Denny, thank you for being here today. You know, in addition to serving all the people of Indiana, the state of Indiana is actually one of the largest employers in the state. So I've directed Denny and all the agencies of the state of Indiana to encourage our employees to complete their degrees. Agencies like Workforce Development and FSSA are helping to publicize efforts across the state in Local Work 1 and Division of Family Resource Offices. So we're leading by example, and we hope that employers large and small across the state of Indiana will send people to the website, which is youcangoback.com/2016, and get the word out with your folks. I'm also like to encourage local leaders to do like Mayor Lenham is doing, and that is working to spread the word in city halls, in libraries, in community centers, to reach out under the leadership of local government. And members of the General Assembly, we're not letting you off. In your third houses, we want you to go home, take advantage of the resources, tell the story about this program, that because of You Can Go Back and the initiative that you all supported in the last budget of the Indiana General Assembly, there's now credit for work hours and military experience. There's new flexibility for online courses, for weekend courses and evening courses, and there's a $1,000 state grant for eligible individuals. So we want to ask all of the elected officials who are here to also help us tell the story. For the sake of Hoosier families, for the sake of the opportunity of every Hoosier, for our workforce, for companies large and small, and for the prosperity of the heartland, I ask you to help us tell the story. Together, I know that we can spread the word we can tell people everywhere across Indiana that you can go back, and I know they will. Thank you very much. God bless you. And Teresa, thanks for your great leadership on that.
Thank you, Governor Pence. That was perfect. I think he had a very compelling case that he made for why this campaign is important to Hoosiers and all that we can do to encourage them to go back and see them through so that their hopes and dreams are realized this time. It will help them personally and will certainly help the state of Indiana. So thank you to everyone who was here today. We'll be around and available if there are questions or follow-up comments that you'd like to make. Thank you.
I'm ready to go on.